Hello and welcome to Todd Rolls Dice, where we're going to take a look at my thoughts and hopes, I guess, for this big Warhammer preview that was announced about a week ago now. It is a week away, give or take. I'm hoping that this video drops on the 11th, so it will be a week before this preview. I'm also hoping to live stream this preview, but we will see. I'll do a reaction regardless of what happened. But this is, hopefully, the one that we've been waiting for. Look, I've been banging on for months about not having a Warhammer preview, not knowing what's coming next. We've seen almost everything. We've had quite a few reveals on Warcom over the last few weeks. But now it's finally here. The big summer Warhammer preview. 18th of July, it's 7 PM UK time. We'll touch on the times in a minute. I'm not going to read through this article, but there's a couple of things that I do want to point out. First one, it's 10 years of Age of Sigmar. I didn't realise it was that new. Maybe they're going to do something fun for Age of Sigmar. So they're just banging on about, you know, it's a puff piece, Age of Sigmar, yeah, it's great. We've got new stuff for Sigmar and other things as well. This one is going to be Adam and Eddie. There's a video here. This article is linked in the description below, so if you want to check out the video, you can. I've taken the interesting stills. Basically, they were playing a game of dress up, I'm going to say. They were putting on different hats and trying to tease what's coming. Again, I've taken the stills. I have a few ideas myself, but it will be available July the 18th, 7 PM British time, with other time zones mentioned there as well. I'm hoping to cover it. I'll have to see where we are next week, but the plan is to do some sort of live reaction. But that's enough of this article, because there isn't really anything to tell in here. It's the usual puff piece. But what I do have is a pre-prepared PowerPoint with a host of slides that's going to take us through what's hopefully coming and my ideas, and I've pulled some stuff from the Rumour Engine as well. Now, and somebody put it in the comments, in fact Saul put it in the comments. Thank you, Saul. He has an incredible resource that I'm going to share with you guys. It's linked in the description as well. But we'll touch on that when we get to the Rumour Engine bit. Because there's so much that we don't know still. And there's so much that I think is coming. But in this preview, they are focusing on 40k, Old World, Underworlds, interesting. Horus Heresy, again interesting because at this point, the new edition won't even have released yet. Really interesting. Legions Imperialis, there's not a huge amount that I can talk about with that one. Kill Team. We've just had what usually makes the last box of this season. Vulcus is being attacked by the Tyranids. Who knows where we're going next, but I have a few ideas. And then Age of Sigmar, and it's specifically to celebrate 10 years of Age of Sigmar. You can expect suitably seismic news. Seismic news. Beastmen returning. You heard it here first. It's not. It's not. So that was on the email if you signed up to the Warhammer newsletter. But what I've done for this is I've basically just taken all of the roadmaps, a chunk, not all, but a chunk of the Rumour Engines that we already have seen, but we don't know what they are, and we're just gonna try and piece some bits together. So, this roadmap was from Adepticon. This was the newest one. And as you can see, there's a whole host of things, some that we've seen, some that we haven't, some that have already had reveals, and then on the horizon, stuff we don't know. Thousand Sons, Space Wolves, World Eaters, Death Guard, and Chaos Knights are all out. As of time of recording, Space Wolves general release is tomorrow. But Knights, we know that they're coming, but they're MIA. We had an article saying, yeah, Knight Codex, we don't know what we're doing with it, so it's not coming out soon. Who knows? Maybe we'll get something for Knights, but we've already had a reveal for it, so that's probably it, going by the Chaos Knights Codex and releases. Black Templars, we've seen the reveals from Warcom. I think that's probably it for now. Grey Knights, well, the picture's there. You've got an upgrade sprue for the baby carrier. But on the horizon, easy one, Leagues of Votann. I think everybody's sort of guessing that's going to be the next codex anyway, so we're going to see some leagues, I think. Space Marine 2.0 codex, or potentially the other thing that I've heard, that these images mean that they're getting their individual codexes, or in this case codex supplements. So potentially Codex 2.0 for Space Marines, or supplement Salamanders, supplement Imperial Fists. I would probably think if that's the case they will roll in Crimson Fists as well. We also had a couple of other teasers. But this is what we've seen. The Imperial Knight, whatever it was called, with a big shield on his back, and then the two Ancient and the Chaplain. Fairly straightforward. The Adepticon preview gave us Raven Guard, and this image was confirmed to be a Raven Guard. Las Vegas Open, way back, March I think it was, gave us this picture. Now this picture could be a number of things. I think it could be a Sisters of Battle, just from this shape of potentially a power pack. And then the nun-esque robe cloth thing, and then it looks like it's some sort of helmet, and then this is the fabric of the whatever the hoods the nuns have. I know it has a name, but that's what I think that this is. So are we maybe getting a new Sisters of Battle character, something, unit? But it was teased as the future of 40k, so, and that's going far back. That's, what would we be, 4, maybe 5 months back for this one, which is a long time for them not to show stuff off. So I think this might be part of some narrative campaign. You know they always do a narrative campaign to round out the end of an edition. And sadly the 3-year edition cycle seems to be sticking, and 10th is, well, it's entered its 2nd year. Sadly we're due 11th very soon. Possible rumour engines, I think that these two on the left are Votann. The drill might be a little bit too on the nose. It could also be Necromunda, but Necromunda isn't here. But it just feels, although it could be Caradron Overlords, couldn't it? Thinking about it, it could be either. So that's a question mark, but this just feels very Votann-y down here on the bottom left. This sword here, I think it's Tau. I think it's some sort of Tau fusion blade. This, oh, there's so much talk of this one that I've seen. Votann, possibly, I don't think it is. I think it's Orcs. It could also be Necrons, but my first thought was Orcs, so I'm going to stick with Orcs. And this, to me, looks like some sort of jet bike. I mean, it might be Votann-y, but the engine and the style of the engine is too much like the Gravis vehicles that Space Marines have. I think Gravis jet bikes. Potentially a character model. That's what I think, and this isn't all of the rumour engines. But all of these images, I've taken a lot of them. All of these images have come from WarbossKurgan, aka Saul. I've linked his website. It's an incredible blog spot that has all of the rumour engines going back years, about 5 or 6 years I think. And it's got the resolved images next to them if they've been resolved. I mean, some of the stuff. I think the oldest unresolved one is like 2022. And it was insectoid, potentially tyrannidy, spidery head that still hasn't been resolved. But there's so many on there. I was scrolling through them. In fact, I've got it on this screen now. I was scrolling through them and there is so many that were just still unknown. Like even recent-ish, like the last 6-7 months, there's loads of them missing. There's a chunk for AOS as well. I think this shows you just how far behind of reveal shows that we actually are. But this is all 40k stuff, I'm fairly certain to say. But I think that's what we're getting for 40k. The old world. We had a roadmap back in, I think this was Las Vegas as well. We've had all of this stuff. Beastmen, Wood Elves, and Grand Cathay just released last weekend. We're still waiting on Wave 2 of Grand Cathay, and I think pretty much all of that stuff was shown off. So what could we be getting for Old World? I don't think it's a new edition. I hope it's not a new edition. But what might we be getting? We'll touch on that with the hats. Underworlds, again, we're kind of done with Underworlds. This is the Year 1 roadmap that came out back in October, I think it was. And we've had the Emigard box, we had the 16 returning warbands, we had extra new warbands and things. This third one has sadly already been revealed with the new Rivals deck. Everybody's favourite, Kamandora's Blades. Just gross. Absolutely gross. So Underworlds is going to be a big surprise. Some of these Rumour Engines and things, they may already be for some of these other games. I'm just going for what I think is the fairly obvious stuff. On to Horus Heresy. Not too many Rumour Engine images for this, but this is what we've seen from the Dropsite Massacre preview that they've said is coming in future. So we've got Mark III Breaches, Mark II Assault, and I think that Volkite, if we just go back, that leg and the armour of that leg just looks like that Mark II leg there. So I think that this is probably, because it's slightly upper armoured, it's a character of some sort. But I think that that is a Mark II Marine. Mechanicum teased, potentially Dark Mechanicum as well. You can probably play with both. The kit will make Loyalist or Heretical Mechanicum, which is good. But that's definitely what it was. Custodes, I think that they're coming first. They made a big thing on the Future of Horus Heresy article of the Custodes Spear. So we're definitely going to see Custodes here, I think. More resin kits turning to plastic. That's obvious, we know that they're going to do that, but this is probably a good place to just tease in some more tanks. Maybe some troops. Who's the big? It's Salamanders and Iron Warriors. That's the big boys, the poster boys for this time round. Maybe, I mean, we might get a unit each, like a specialist unit that's already in resin. We might get confirmation they're going plastic, maybe. I also think there's a really good potential of the Journal Tactica Book 2 being teased at this point. Book 1 won't be out yet, but we know they've said that they're going to come very fast, and they've got a lot in the works. I think we're going to know what the next book is off the back of this preview. Possible Rumour Engines. Again, taken from WarbossKurgan. I think that's a new Alpharius model. Might be Omegon. I don't know. I think that this is a tease. I don't think it'll be plastic, in all honesty, but I think that this is the next Primarch. We know Angron is coming in demon form. I don't know if you need to redo Alpharius, but that spear, that blade, this tip here, and then all of this detail on the edging, it fits perfectly with his current spear. And I don't imagine that Alpharius is coming to 40k. I might be wrong on that, but with all of the redo and the promise of bringing more plastic kits to Horus Heresy, I'm not saying it'll be plastic again, but I just think that this could be Alpharius. I'm probably wrong, but hey, I also think that this, while it could be Kill Team, for some reason this just looks like a Solar Auxilia, maybe a weapons team or a weapons battery controller or something, very similar to what we got with Space Marines a couple of months back. And this power shield. I think it's a Custodi Dreadnought, Sword and Board Dreadnought. I think it's coming to plastic, and I think it's going to be shown off because the shape just fits for me, and this design, it looks big. Obviously, I'm looking at a tiny image that could be anything. It could be zoomed in, it could be enhanced, it could be whatever you want. I think it's a Dreadnought shield. It's the pattern, it's the design, it just doesn't feel... It feels like it would be too big to be an inventory or even a Terminator shield. So while I'm probably wrong, it's definitely a shield. I think it's a Custody Dreadnought shield. And that will be one of the kits coming in plastic that's revealed for the Custodies. Again, let me know in the comments what you think. I'm probably way off, but let me know. Legions Imperialis, I got nothing. I don't play the game, I don't take an interest in the game, I don't follow it on this channel. Who knows? Kill Team, we've come to the end of the season, so we're probably getting a new battle zone. A kill zone, rather. I don't know what it could be. I would like us to stay on Vulcus, because I think there's still some things that you could do that would be interesting. But we know how this cycle is. You get a new edition, and then you get 3 seasons in 3 distinct kill zones. There's some big changes coming to the teams, the kill teams that you can use in Kill Team. I'm expecting this reveal show to be the start of what's coming. We'll find out which 2 teams are in the new box. Again, the hats are going to help with this one, but I think this is definitely Deathwatch. Definitely Inquisition. I just feel like this is some sort of Deathwatch, Kill Team, Marine. You know, they have servo skulls and the sensors and things on their back. I think this is the Sergeant or whatever they're going to do with it. This will be the squad leader, and he will have that on his back to denote him. And Kill Team likes the extra bits, the antennas, all this kind of stuff. Always on these Kill Teams. So that's what I think that is. Definitely Deathwatch, definitely Kill Team. This one is a bit of a tough one. I think it's a new Imperial Guard Kill Team. Or it might be Terrain. But this antenna here is identical to the Kazakin antennas. So I'm going Imperial Guard. It could even be, like, it looks like it's some sort of backpack or something. But it just screams Kazakin to me. So some sort of new Imperial Guard Kill Team could potentially be teased as well. You wouldn't get 2 Imperial forces in a Kill Team box, I don't think. But this could even be Terrain or something. I don't know. But I'm leaning towards that. And the other one that I think is Kill Team Terrain. Although, is it? I don't know. It just feels, again, the Genestealer cult have a lot of these little holographic displays and things. Not many others do. But this just feels Kill Team-y. Potentially this is a view of what the kill zone will look like. You can tell I've been thinking about this, can't you? But it's definitely some sort of laser projected display, inventory map, something. And I can just see it being some sort of Kill Team-y thing, or it has some sort of specialist rule attached to it, or something along those lines. I don't know what faction. Could be Genestealers. Could be Imperial Guard, it could be Space Marines. It looks a bit too normal for Mechanicum, but it's definitely got an Imperial touch. That said, it could be something Necromunda. Necromunda is starting to get some love. If you've seen the Palanite stuff, they're looking incredible. Necromunda isn't at this preview show, so if this is Necromunda, it's not going to be shown off. But these things, just the aesthetic and the vibe of them, the feel of them, and what we think we know for Kill Team, this just feels like Kill Team to me. Now on to Age of Sigmar. I've lost a slide. Oh well, doesn't matter. This tells us exactly what we need to do. So this is the roadmap from Adepticon. Soulblight, they came out that weekend. Sand and Bone is out. The General's Handbook is out. Adden Deepkin have just gone up for pre-order, I believe, so they will be out in the next week or so. Blades of Khorne have been teased. Caradron Overlords have been teased. Nighthorn is the next up, going by this roadmap, if this roadmap is still correct. And on the horizon we have the Flesh Eater Courts. It's one of the vampire wings of the Flesh Eater Courts. I'm 100% on that. We've seen that artwork before. So, Caradron Overlords, they've got a new troops unit that can be built in 2 different ways, is how it looks to me. Oh, interesting. That helmet looks like one of the hats that Adam wears. I've only just noticed that. Fascinating. I don't think it changes anything, but interesting. they have this horrible looking new character as well. And then the Blades of Khorne character is this very stoic HQ level character. And it sounds like all they're getting is that one character. We did get a future tease. And going by these symbols here, and the eyes don't really give much away. Glowing eyes, it could really be anything. But this is from the Las Vegas preview, so again, quite a few months ago. These symbols are very much Chaos Dwarf. Seismic, dwarves, digging, potentially a whole new army coming to AOS. That's pretty seismic. So I think we're going to see Chaos Dwarves. And to back that up, I think that these three images on the bottom right are linked to Chaos Dwarves. Some sort of Uruk skull. It could be, and there's a knife there, I think that's a knife. So this could be some sort of, well, it could be Nighthaunt, it could be Flesh Eater Courts. I get the vibe that Chaos Dwarves will be a little bit extra. So you may have bits of old enemies and things that are eating brains or just doing weird things. So I'm going to say Chaos Dwarfs on that one. Equally, this just looks, I don't know, it looks a little bit too crude. It could be Necromunda, again, it could be Cawdor. But I feel like this sort of weapon, it could be Chaos Dwarfs. It's different enough, but it still feels very rugged, very chaosy. Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. This hoof here, this obviously it's some sort of back leg hoof. We don't think it is Beastmen. I think it's either some sort of demon goat thing. It's definitely a hind leg. It's some sort of demon goat thing that the Chaos Dwarfs use to pull around maybe cannons, pieces of war gear, a forge. Maybe they have an ancient forge where they can craft magical powers and it's like the altar of their spells potentially. Although dwarves don't normally do magic. But it could be something like some sort of buffing unit. It could be, I mean, it could just be some sort of cavalry that the dwarves have. But dwarves, I'm expecting them to have some sort of fast unit. I feel like this would just link in. And while this doesn't look overly chaosy, it definitely feels a bit bestial. So it could be chaos. The sword with this blood, poison, whatever this is, it just seems to fit Flesh Eater Courts for me. I don't know why. And then the three on the top, these are going back quite a while. I think it's Nighthaunt. It could well be Flesh Eater Courts, but just the design and the style and even the colouring, or how I imagine the colouring of these arms. And obviously the bottles there, there's bottles there, it all links in. I think these three are Nighthaunt. And with Nighthaunt meant to be coming next, I think that's the obvious one. So that's my thoughts. Nighthaunt across the top, Flesh Eater Courts on the bottom, and that one is up for debate a little bit more on the bottom right, but I think all these three images on the bottom right are going to link into the Chaos Dwarfs somehow. The hats. So, that is the Deathwatch symbol. On black. It looks like leather. Might not be leather, but it's definitely black. Deathwatch, 100%. I think that this is the Votann, and actually seeing that Caradron Overlord's style helmet on that new unit that we just saw, I'm doubling down on that being Votann. And we know that Votann should be coming soon. They've been on the roadmap for a little while, and it just fits. These two on the right. Some sort of refresh, new model, maybe a unit refresh, old metal models going into plastic. The Tomb Kings and Empire. And the hat could be anything, but it just reminds me of the old wizards for the Empire. The big beards and the weird flame effects and the swords, and I think they ended up in Cities of Sigmar, didn't they? But it just feels like this stuff is old world. I don't know what that one is. Eddie has two of these hats, and I don't know what he's getting at. One's slightly smaller, one's slightly bigger. I don't know what they could be. I think that this hat, while it could also be Empire, I think it's Cities of Sigmar, and I do think that Cities of Sigmar are probably going to be coming soonish. If we look back at the Age of Sigmar roadmap, you've got Ideneth Deepkin and the Caradron, which are Order, but they're not as popular as Cities of Sigmar. Nighthaunt are probably quite popular. Soulblight Gravelords, I don't know how popular they are. And then our Chaos faction, Blades of Khorne. I don't think any of these are anywhere near as popular as Cities of Sigmar. The last really popular faction I think that we had out was probably Slaves to Darkness. And then you're going to be looking at start of the edition with the Skaven and the Stormcast Eternals. I don't think that we've had any real smash hit super popular armies. I just feel like after this one here, after Flesh Eater Core, it's going to be Cities of Sigmar. And we've seen a slowdown with the Age of Sigmar releases, and I think it's going to speed up a little bit over the next 6 months. So I'm guessing Cities of Sigmar with that hat. And then the final selection of hats. I don't know what the traffic cone is. It could be Eldar because they have cone heads. Maybe, I don't know. I do not know what you want with these top hats. Interestingly, I think the fedora cowboy hat style, it just reminded me of Toll. Is it Javier Toll, whatever he's called? Just reminded me of Toll from Callis and Toll's hat. He's the Witch Hunter. Callis and Toll already have models. They're stunning models. When they did their video call teaser trailer for this event, Eddie said books also going to be shown off. I think, bit of a red herring, I think it's a Callis and Toll book. Because they are pretty big characters in Age of Sigmar. I think they're great characters as well, I really like them. And I just think now is maybe the time where we're going to get, not saying it's coming out immediately, but I think somebody's been working on the next Callis and Toll book. And I think that's what it's going to be, and it's going to progress their story a little bit more. I also hope at some point that we get a fully fleshed out Age of Sigmar animation with Callis and Toll, because their episode was by far one of the best Hammer and Bolters. That's the only thing that I could think of when it came to that hat. If you've figured it out, let me know in the comments. Pirate hat. I think it's Orcs. I think it's... Is it Freebooters? But I just saw it and my brain went, yep, Orcs. So I think that's Orcs. I think it links in with one of those Rumour Engines, the spirally gun thing that could be Necron. I think it is Orcs. I think it's these guys. And I think that the hat, in fact, I think that hat is just taken from one of the models. So that's what I'm going with for that. I might be wrong, but I think it's an Orcs unit, maybe a character. And it's going to link in with this end of the edition narrative event that's coming. It's kind of obvious, but Jester's hat with the bells on, Harlequins, that's the only thing that I think I've spelled that wrong actually. But it's the only thing that I thought of. And again, I'm not saying that it is, but if it is Deathwatch, would it not be fascinating to have them fighting some sort of dedicated Harlequins kill team? Harlequins are included in the Eldari Codex, I believe. But wouldn't it be fun if they got their own supplement again and they became a bit more of a separate identity and we got something for them? Who knows? And I don't know what these other hats are. Like, maybe all will be revealed, who knows? But that's what I think for this big summer preview. I could be wrong on many counts, in all honesty. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of my suggestions. Maybe we'll keep a tally and see how wrong I am. I don't know, that doesn't sound fun for me. But we'll see. But I'm definitely hoping to cover this. I'll confirm next week if we are going to do it live or it'll be a separate thing. Depends where I am on the Saturday. But this is definitely something that I will be covering on the channel in some form. I think we just do it live. I think we just go for it. And if you guys want to join me, fantastic. If not, you can catch up later. But I think that I'm leaning towards doing it live. But yeah, it just feels like we've been waiting for this for so long. Certainly Sigmar. We've had so many reveals over the last few weeks from Warcom. I think that a reveal show was needed. And yeah, we're a week away. which is great fun. But let me know of all of the things I've brought up in here or anything else that you've noticed. Let me know in the comments. Huge thank you to WarbossKurgan, aka Saul, for letting me use and utilize his incredible Rumour Engine blogspot website. It is linked in the description for this video if you want to check it out yourself. Maybe you can help fill in some of those blanks as well. It's a fantastic resource and I will hopefully be using it in more videos. But huge shout out to Saul. Thank you for being a viewer on the channel as well. I know you've commented on a few of the videos because we can see that stuff behind the scenes now. Yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me use that resource. It's huge and it's a brilliant little thing that you're doing. So thank you very much. Do check it out and support it if you're interested in the rumour side of things. It is just rumour engines, by the way. It's not spoilers and leaks and all that stuff. It is just the rumour engines, so you're safe from anything that isn't officially put out by GW. Yeah, and let me know what you think in general below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.